Starting out in the lower field early in the morning, 3 bucks come out of the bushes. It's spring and they are starting to grow antlers. It's kind of what the antlers look like this time of year. They're a little bit scruffy looking as they're losing their winter coat. Now that evening, a doe focused on getting leaves off the small trees and bushes. Although it sniffs the grass, tree leaves are preferred. Got that nice patch of grass in the middle and nobody eats it. This one could be eating for two, but don't say that out loud. She's pretty focused on her eating. Trees and bushes. That's where the good food is. There's a second deer in the bushes, but we won't ever see it clearly. It doesn't come out. I'm guessing that's her fawn from last year. A year old now. So she's coming up front and center here. Got a gray coat that's from winter that she's shedding. Gonna leave the nice red color behind. Another bush. That's why it's so hard to grow fruit trees around here. There's all this beautiful grass and hayfield, and they're chewing the trees. And you got to be sure and sniff the camera. That's important too. At least you didn't fog the lens. Okay, maybe she does take a bite out of the weeds there. But she spent a whole lot more time eating leaves off the trees and bushes. Not the best looking deer. She'll look better in about another month when all that fur is cleaned up the way it should be. And off she goes into the bushes where the other deer was. Actually, she's kind of going into, she's in the bushes there. Okay, at night, something low and long goes underneath the camera. More discussion on that later. Now we've got UFO, some type of unidentified flying object. I don't know if it's a dragonfly or bugs, or whether it's just some type of artifact on the camera. Look at that. There's a bunny. We still have a bunny. The deer way in the background. One deer. I didn't really save much of the video of the deer in the far back, unless they came forward. But there's a second deer. That makes it interesting. And a third deer. I was hoping we'd see the big parade of 10 or more deer, but not this time. They're all heading southeast. Now there's deer coming back. Going kind of north. One deer, two deer. They have good looking smooth fur. Kind of nice coloration. A little bit gray. Oh, it being 6:30 in the morning, we don't have the vivid color. And there's still the rabbit. A little better rabbit video this time. During the day, it's easier to see. And there's a squirrel. There's still squirrels out there. And we still get deer video at night. I didn't include a lot of that. This one was close. It's not the best posed deer, but it's chewing on that same bush that the doe was working on earlier. Day and night, the deer are out there. Well, got her sniff the camera. Again, we got by without it fogging up the camera. That was a good thing. Yep, walk right past the grass. Over to a bush, chew on the leaves on the bush. All those things in the air, are they bugs or moths? I'm guessing they're moths. Although the way they light up like that, they could be fireflies even, but so a lot of them look like moths. The shape. Really, we don't see that many moths walking around out there. It's not a place that's swarming with bugs. And there's a third deer. Is that 3 doe? Sometimes a deer might be in a bigger group, you just don't see them all. They don't all funnel down. There's a 4th one. So there's at least 4 deer there. Maybe if we ran the mower through there, they'd be better staying in the path. Some more night video. Can't see the color of it. But here's another doe coming out of the bushes. It's kind of got the red background with some gray fur, maybe some loose gray fur on top. It might be the same doe as we were looking at earlier. Oh, and there's the coyote. And a deer the next day. Now there's another coyote going by. The second coyote's kind of running or walking on 3 legs. That's the one that got hurt. And there's another coyote, but that's a few hours later. My guess is it's following the other coyotes, if it isn't the first one just circling back. Now a deer, just over an hour later. The coyote smell doesn't seem to bother her. She's right there where the coyotes were. You'd think she could smell them. That's the way they are rumored to avoid danger. But she doesn't seem to care. And a little later, she circles around. This May 27th has been a very busy day in the woods. It starts out with that deer circling around, then there's deer coming and going. And the rabbits out there, it survived all those coyotes going by. You'd think the coyotes would smell the rabbit. But then it's followed by the fisher. That's even more dangerous than the coyotes. We haven't seen the fisher in a while. They're nice to see as long as you're not the rabbit or the squirrels. But the rabbit survived the fisher going by too. Here we go. This one may have twins on the way. Just don't say it to her. She might take offense. And there's spooky eyes in the background. And here it comes forward. And something new is coming through. We haven't seen this before. It's a bobcat. Going right through where everything else goes. That stump is a big attraction. Lots of things go right past that stump. We'll slow it down and see the bobcat again here. Short little tail, black feet. Black on the end of the tail. Yep, that's a bobcat. I didn't know we had them around here. It must have taken a wrong turn up in the mountains. And it ended up in suburbia. On the edge of agricultural area. Okay, something climbing on the camera. What is it? A bird? No, when I go frame by frame, I can see it's a squirrel. And another nice, well-posed deer, a little bit far back. And the coyote coming around again. So let's hurry up and get through this before we lose our audience. There's a buck at night, and the antlers are getting bigger. Look at that. That'll have nice antlers. Just give it time. A nice shot with the sun in the background and the deer walking by early morning. Not that early, 8 o'clock. Nice green. Now we're in the upper woods. There's deer up there too. Look at that. A porcupine. See how it walks along as purposefully? We'll slow it down and see that again. We don't see many porcupines around here. I think that made a wrong turn up in the mountains too. But there's more deer. This one's coming the right direction. It's eating the leaves. They're good tasty leaves that pulled up off the ground. I don't know what they are. But once you drop them, they're no good for eating anymore. You have to go on to something else. And there's coyotes in the upper woods. Coyotes everywhere. And the bobcat is back. This is actually 12 hours before it's seen down in the lower woods. At the speed it's going, it could be there in 5 minutes. So, and we'll end with the turkey.